Right, I just thought I'd clear this slide up because this textbook, McGraw-Hill likes to use a lot of formal math language, which is great, but sometimes it can be a little bit confusing. So let's put some numbers to it here. Number one talks about this here, n a to the n, okay? If n is, whoops, that's got to be an n, sorry. And saying this, if you have an even number for n, so 4 is an even number, we'll look at that, where it's then saying n a to the n is just equal to a if we have an odd number. So let's look at a couple of examples. And what absolute value means, remember, is that the answer is always positive. So this just means the answer is always going to be positive. So what happens here is if we take negative 5 to the fourth, that's negative 5 times negative 5 times negative 5 times negative 5, we're actually going to get a positive value of 625. Because the negative times negative times negative times a negative is a positive. So what we have is the fourth root. I didn't do that very well. It comes inside. The fourth root of 625 is equal to 5. Okay. So all this is saying, all the a's and the n's and the radical signs is saying, if I have an even root, square root, fourth root, sixth root of a negative number, and if this is the same as this, it's not going to give me the same answer. It's going to give me the positive. So see the absolute value of a, so the absolute value of negative 5 is 5, right? It's saying here, well, if I do this, that's the cube root of negative 125, and that would be negative 5. So if I have the same exact scenario of this number and this number being the same, okay, but those numbers are odd, then the answer is going to be the same number as what was inside the bracket. Okay. Very rarely does this happen, and it doesn't really matter that much, because if you just calculate it out, if you just try to calculate it, you're going to get this. If you're just going to calculate it, you're going to get this. So it's not like you really need to pay attention to that a whole lot, but that's where they're going with the slide. So you'll see the questions actually aren't near as difficult as this slide makes them feel.